Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bardic Inspiration Network. We are back for episode 2 of Tales of Exandria, Swords of Byroden. Hi, my name is Anne. This is my channel. I will be playing Hope, the Tiefling Divine Soul Sorcerer. She's got a few issues. And now I will be throwing it over to Kai.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kai. I use he, they pronouns. And I'm playing PJ, the Tiefling. Not the Tiefling? Wow, I'm tired. The half elf Artificer rogue who uses he, they. Craig, please take me away from this.
I'm Craig, he, him, and I play Edwald, he, him, who is a half-orc fighter. Adrian.
Hey everybody, I'm Adrian. I use he, him, and her pronouns, and I am playing Huit'zi'lin, who is a half Drow, half Genasi, and uses he, him pronouns, and is a Druid. And I think next is Al, right?
Yes, it will be. Hello everyone, I'm Al. I use he, him pronouns, and I will be the GM for this fantastic cast today. When we last left off Swords of Byroden in the premiere episode, three heroes from various corners of Eldori came to experience the Summer Peachiest Pie Bake-Off. And during, they sampled pie, they enjoyed some of the festivities, but like all adventurers, they went and checked out the job board. There they learned a few different happenings outside of the town and spoke with the War Ringer, Ralphus. One of the first missions was to speak with a group of scouts outside of town. These scouts were from the Iron Empire. As they went, they met with the scout Joxer, nice sweet goblin, and later Zundak, the prince of the Iron Empire, who was exiled because his father had fallen and gotten involved with someone who convinced him to exile his son. During which Manticore, or a few of them, came to attack the area. After dispatching, they convinced Zundak to go to Byroden, speak with the War Ringer, and possibly find a home for his people for the time being, the people who went with him. The second mission was to find a missing emissary from Craghammer, located in a cave little ways outside of the town to the south. As they did, they came up against a cultist in her undead. After dispatching her, they heard a voice call for help. But we're actually going to transition to before the cave happened and meet outside of Byroden, a few miles, where a traveler stumbles upon a perfectly preserved cabin belonging to a historical figure in Taldore. Huit'zi'lin, would you please describe yourself?
Yes, what people would see when they look at me is a relatively tall, elven-looking sort of gentleman who has very long, dark hair. It is a style very much in the style of what Henry Cavill wears as Geralt of Rivia in The Witcher. He has a very well manicured dark beard and sort of prominent eyebrows, and quite handsome. If he were human, you would say he's probably in his mid-30s. Generally is seen to be quite jovial when he walks around places. Is always looking at things. Has sort of blue eyes and a more on the sort of a light purplish kind of skin tone, but more on the lavender edge of things, and has one or two books in sort of holsters on his hip as well. And is often seen carrying a nice-looking quarterstaff and sort of a interesting-looking shield that is one that sort of just covers your forearm as things go.
Alrighty. Speaking of books and the like, you enter this cabin and it's pretty preserved. It's simple. There's a chair and a desk. There's small hunting trophies hanging on the walls, but it appears there's dust everywhere, and doesn't appear to have been touched in a while. One thing that does stick out for you. Well, it's a couple things, but the first thing that sticks out for you is you notice a beautiful stitched together doll in a pink princess dress, and she is her arm is out as if she's accepting someone to dance with her. Next to her, you also notice it looks like what a book spine would be, but the pages are missing. They're gone, with the exception of one page that's off to the right.
Well, it's...
Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
Oh yeah, and you remember right outside. You remember reading the plaque, Boris Bane. And in your studies, you remember Boris Bane was he was a professor one time at the Lyceum long ago. He was known for studying ancient languages, and rumor had it he dabbled in demonology and necromancy.
This cabin is used now as kind of a, I don't know, almost sort of like a tourist feature. Is that what I'm understanding correctly?
That's what you're gathering from this. It's a tourist destination, but it appears that it hasn't seen visitors in a while.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as things that are known about the previous inhabitant, the doll is quite interesting to me. Why are they known to have any sort of like special artifacts or anything along those lines? That it seems quite interesting to have this.
It surely does, and unlike everything else, this doll appears to be clean and free of dust. You can go ahead and make an Arcana roll if you want.
I would like that, yes. What should we use? This one. Natural 20 for 23.
Oh wow! You detect, you ping. Your senses go off as this doll does appear magical. There appears to be even be some, say, conjuration magic surrounding it.
Well, that's not good. Is there anything else that I could potentially pick up in this cabin and just gently toss it at the doll?
Let's see.
Like
go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. Another one. Okay, that's another natural 20 for 23.
Right. You notice on the wall there's a couple of like small skulls, beside kind of bird heads or kind of bird skulls that you could probably take off. The desk also appears to have, I would say, the equivalent of like food wrappers back in the day. Folks. There's some tourists who probably came here. They left a mess you could throw at that. There are some small rocks near your feet that you could also pick up there as well.
I will probably go for one of the smaller rocks just to kind of give a little bit of a thumb flick to try and just hit the doll, see if anything goes off for, let's say, I don't know, a decent enough distance, let's be like 10 feet, I suppose, if I can hit the doll from that far.
Go ahead and make a ranged attack roll, so d20 plus your dex.
Okay, that is a dirty 20.
Okay.
These purple
yeah.
dice are very happy.
Yeah, you flick the rock and kind of with style, as if it's like skipping in the pond. Does a little bit, hits the doll, and the doll it kind of rolls and falls off the desk, hits the ground, but nothing happens. The doll is still there. That also page that was legible is also kind of just floats to the ground a little bit.
All right, well, we will come back to you in a moment, little doll. You are very strange, and frankly, you do not belong in this cabin, but we will take care of you in a moment. I'm interested to look at that book before I try and throw a sack or something over this doll to bring it with me, potentially.
Sure. The book itself, as you read it, it is written in. Let's see. I know. What are your language proficiencies again?
Common, Druidic, Elvish, Marquesian, Undercommon.
Okay. You do notice in Undercommon, and the words say, this zombie summoning ritual, to wake the dead, to walk this earth, speak these words. I summon you from the ground.
I'm flipping through the book and I'm thinking, I tell my students all the time, you should never try and summon zombies. It never ends well for you or the zombies, to be honest. We're going to put this away for a moment. And, I am going to see if I'm going to take my my coat off, and now I'm basically shirtless, and I'm going to try and fling it over the doll and to try and bundle it up and carry it with me as I begin to try and make my way where I was heading originally before I remembered that there is this place here close enough to
Sure. You successfully grab the doll and no struggle whatsoever. So now you are shirtless and holding the doll, and as you do hear footsteps coming from outside the cabin, not like menacing or anything like that, but just like voices approaching. A couple of deep voices and one that is feminine.
I am not expecting any trouble at this time of day, so I'm going to just proceed as normal and see who's coming close to the cabin.
All right. You open the door and you look outside. The first is a 7.5 foot tall, half giant or Goliath, masculine, chiseled out of stone, with kind of long, thick hair. Also shirtless, but he's got a swirl designs, tattoos. Just he's in pants. Next to him is a bronze dragon blood. Also muscular as well. He's wearing kind of a jerkin, pants as well. And then the other is a feminine woman. I sound like Captain Holt. A feminine. She's a Lagomir, which you've heard. So they're kind of like Harrigens, but they have the faces of people and kind of ears of a rabbit. For those who've watched Exandria Unlimited, it would be Erica Lindebeck's character was also a Lagomir. They approached you, and she's kind of carrying an axe over her shoulder, and they're just kind of walking along. And the half giant first notices you. He actually puts his hand to his chin, and just kind of looks at you, and he's almost posing JoJo style for a moment. He's like, ah. So someone else visited this cabin as well. Looks like Punky. Looks like you owe me a couple shots of milk. Who are you? Who are you, good sir? What brings you out this way?
I take a little bit of a practice sort of flourish bow. I am Huit'zi'lin. I am an well, at the moment, I would say I'm probably more of an archaeologist than a professor, but I am a former, I guess, colleague, although it's been some time since this person taught at the Lyceum. I'm getting ahead of myself. Frankly, this person used to teach what I taught, and I thought I'd stop by and have a look at this establishment here. It's of some significance. But who are you? It's quite odd to meet more people coming along this way. It looked as if it hadn't been touched in quite some time.
Yes. Boris is the caretakers of this little tourist trap they haven't really come out this way in some time. The three of us, however, we're kind of a small traveling family. You can call me Hoots. I know it's kind of a strange name for a half giant my size, but it was bestowed upon me by my father, and my father before him, and his grandmother, and has traveled around in this family. My companions are Punky and the Dragonborn, also strikes his pose as well, and Mother. And the Lagomir does as well with her weapon. And and the half giant say would you be happening to go to Byroden by chance for the Pie Festival?
That is exactly where I'm headed. My quite large and well-proportioned friend. I am just prone to getting a little bit lost on the way to places, as something always pops into my head. Is this where you're headed, by chance?
Actually, we received a summons from the Byroden militia to travel to Helden Fair. There appears to be a crisis. Fortunately, friend, you missed the Pie Festival. That actually, and he turns to his two companions. That Tiefling girl I was with the other day. She was also going to Byroden. Very lovely. I think she was interested in me. And he turns back to yes, Helden Fair needs some help, so we're going to take our talents over there. You seem surely capable, and seems surely capable of handling yourself. And mother kind of parts between like, yeah, my boys, they are good looking, but not necessarily knowledgeable when it comes to nature. But I fancy yourself to be, something wild. Per se, Druid.
I've been known to spend a bit of time studying nature. This is very true. Although, I have to ask, Mother, is it a given name, or did these lovely boys give it to you? Be honest, you can.
A little from column A, a little from column B. It's not like that.
Before I let anybody call me daddy, I
my-
usually let them buy me a drink first, but that's
Well,
each their own.
I help these two. They're kind of, they're good looking, but let's be honest, they might not always have the most common sense. And as she's talking, they're just they're posing, but they're also kind of looking out to the field, and kind of like stretching for the battle ahead. And she's like, but my boys, they can take care of themselves when it comes to fighting, of course. Not everything else. So. But yes, Helden Fair, it's a small town. You probably haven't really heard of it because it's uncharted. But recently there's been an outbreak. Everyone's been raging, And she kind of like makes this like pose as well that she's about to go Super Saiyan. But as barbarians do. And she's like, but they've just been so they've been struggling, and they sent us some missions to Byroden, and so we're gonna go over there with the militia. Some of the militia, some of it's back in town, but they also have some folks from the Iron Empire coming with them, and rumor has it one of them is a prince.
Very
But,
interesting.
I mean, fortunately the Pie Festival's over, but you're more than welcome to join us. Not going to be that far.
Why not? By any chance, are either of the three, well, any of the three of you more arcanely minded? I found something that just does not seem to belong very well to this cabin here, and for the life of me, I can't really figure out what it's doing here.
They all kind of look. Yeah, they all look confused about the idea of something not being there, but they just kind of shake their heads. No. Punky the Dragonborn's like, the only spell we cast is enchantment and enchanting others. But
I
no,
see
we
what you
don't.
did there, my friend. Yes.
But we don't.
I'm gonna kind of like unwrap the head of the doll there a little bit. I mean, look at this thing. This doesn't look as if it belongs here.
They all kind of muddled and kind of ooh ah over the craftsmanship. Mother kind of tilts her chin and she's like, it might have been someone who lost, probably left the toy here and just forgot it.
As you say, this is quite likely. Well, I find myself in need of companionship, so sure, why not? I will come with you to this Halton fair. At least it's a pleasant diversion.
Yes. And as she says that, you hear more footsteps coming. They appear to be just kind of your standard military, form, like a lot of people coming, and you look out and you see humans, farmers, other folks, just kind of dressed with their normal clothes, but they have pitchforks. You also see among them a couple of hobgoblins, goblins, goblinkin, who appear to actually have armor and weapons and other items that you kind of associate. Oh, they're probably going for a fight. So, but yeah, and as they approach, the four of you join the formation, and we're gonna go back to the cave. So yeah, as the cultists lay dead on the floor, you hear a gruff accent voice. Help! Anyone out there? You also have a body on the ground, I should say. For intents and purposes, if anybody wants to search the body.
Oh,
I think
I'm
Hope
searching
was
that.
already kind of looking over the body, right? Because we did we find anything else?
You find a locket with the word Marcy printed on the front and some dwarven runes underneath. Anybody who speaks dwarven, it's the same thing, Marcy.
Can I tell if it's magical? Can I do like an Arcana check? Yep. I can Arcana, right? Yes, I can. Okay, cool. Let's see how well this goes. Ha! Yes! I rolled a natural 20, so that's 23.
Okay. It takes a couple moments before you discern that there is a faint hint of magic on it. Possibly, yeah. Let's just go with that. It's a faint hint of magic that I want to say it'd be protection magic, for lack of a better term, because Al forgets the schools associated with magic right now. But yeah, like protection, like this is something clearly it didn't work for her. But
Abjuration?
I think yes, abjuration.
Abjuration. Yeah,
Abjuration
is the protection magics.
Yeah. Abjuration, but with that nat 20, yeah, protection.
Yeah, protection specifically. Okay. Yeah. After yeah. Is PJ nearby as well? Looking at stuff?
Oh yeah, PJ is like sort of behind you at the minute, sort of looking in picking up on stuff.
So what Hope will do, because she didn't answer Edwald when he asked, because she didn't want to talk about it. But what she'll do is she will use her foot to slide something in PJ's direction that she smushed with her foot last session. Just as kind of like, look at this.
As you do that, Hope, did you put that symbol back in your pocket, right?
Well, no, it was still on the ground, and I essentially was like trying to show it to PJ without touching it, or without picking it up with my hand.
Right.
I'll look at the symbol. Can I make note on the symbol? No idea if that's useful.
I mean, it's now broken, but it appears to be you gotta gather, PJ. It's a crimson ring hanging from a chain.
Does that ring any bells to PJ automatically?
Roll a history or religion check.
See which one is higher first before I figure that out. Oh, definitely history then. Let's go to this die. 9.
You've heard of. I'll give it to you. You've heard of the some people call her God Vesh.
The bloody
Some call her
siren.
God, the bloody siren. If you speak to clerics, they're like, no, she's more of a lesser idol. She's not quite a god. She's convinced some people that she is, but she's not, you know. But there are some people who revere her. You know, there are some folks who also call to her. So you also remember that Marcy was one of the names of the people that Angel and Goose were looking for.
Okay, so Hope knows that, right, from talking to PJ? The names? Okay, she immediately hands the necklace over to PJ.
I am upgrading one of my trust levels, and I'm going to cast Identifier on it. I need to know what this necklace is.
Cool. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I'm literally going to cast Identify on the necklace.
It is a. It's an amulet of protection. So it would be, it would be amulet of protection. So like, it'd be like a +1 to your AC.
Should we maybe catch up with? Should we maybe catch up with Eddie?
What's Edwald doing at this time?
Edwald heard that cry for help, so he's going to investigate that.
All right, and you go and you turn around the room. There's kind of a narrow hallway. It leads to what appears to be a makeshift master bedroom. There's a beautiful king-size bed with a headrest. And kind of tied up is a dwarf fully clothed. Kind of salt and pepper hair. And he's like, the Allfather. Could you help me, lad?
Oh, right, yeah. I'll get you out of these binds. Are they chains or ropes or?
They're ropes.
Okay, I'll just use my axe just to chop away.
All right, yeah. I'm gonna make you roll. You chop, and he's like, and he looks at his hands. He's like, oh, thank you. I was on my way to Byroden, and I met up with this with Marcy, and we got to talking, and she let me back here, and she was going to use me in some ritual.
Oh no. Oh, that's so. You're the missing emissary from Craghammer.
Yep. Was going to go to Byroden and have drinks with my buddy Ralphus.
We were searching for you, so it's a good thing we found you.
Ah. I'm entirely grateful, lad. And he gets out the bed, he reaches into his shoe pocket, and he hands you a small sack with, here we go. A small sack. If you look inside, there's, I'm going to post it in the chat. I'll post it in the, right here, folks. Jeez, there you go. What you find inside, once you look. And if you want, you can also search the rest of the room as well.
Yeah, I'll call out to PJ and Hope. Yeah, I found the emissary.
Could you?
You don't really hear anything from PJ, but with Hope next to PJ, you just hear a under the breath long chain of swears.
They're half elven swears? Are they? What language are they?
They are switching between all sorts of languages. Basically, all the languages that they know. So, Common, Draconic, Elvish, Infernal, and these can literally swears in all languages.
Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down in Infernal, at least. And then you see Hope kind of look at you and say in Infernal, like, what the hell, dude?
Back in Infernal, you just hear, Marcy, one of the missing people.
Yeah, do you want... And then, again in Infernal, do you want to just pretend we never saw her?
Still in Infernal, why is my mic... Okay.
Just...
That's an interesting fact. Thank you, moderator.
Yes, folks, we love our moderators. Shout out to moderators, both our lovely moderator and those who moderate AP games. You are awesome. All right. Yeah, back to PJ and Hope.
Yeah. Back again in Infernal, you just hear, she's a noble from freaking Whitestone. I can't not give this information back. You know this.
And then, yeah, and then you get back, like, what are you gonna do? Tell them we killed her? What are you gonna do? Tell them I killed her?
She became part of the cult? No, I'm gonna have to say she's part of this freaking cult with your dad's ex.
If it helps,
the last
Amy,
thing...
it was Edwald who got in the killing blow, just to...
No. This is an Infernal exchange. The last thing you hear is...
Then it's fine.
The last thing you hear in Infernal is, don't make it weird, dude, okay? And then she just says... and then she just says, do what you need to do. I'm gonna go check on Eddie.
Back to swearing. Just back to swearing, switching in.
Yeah, the emissary looks at you, Edwald's like, sounds like I'm not the only person who's had some weird exchanges.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with my companions over there. Yeah, did you notice any, this Marcy character put in any hidden treasure chests around or something? While you're here?
I mean, I didn't have quite a time to look, but I mean, you can always search.
No, I'll give it the old once over.
Yeah, Edward, go ahead and roll with advantage. He's going to help you.
5 on that one. and a 14 on that one. What am I searching with again? What's it? Investigation.
Investigation/intelligence.
Okay, investigation. That's a -1, so that's 13 in total.
Yeah, that's okay. You're kind of helping, and you're both looking around too. You actually go under the bed and you pull out this couple of different things. First is this beautiful, beautiful hand axe with a yellow hilt and a green crosspiece. And then you also retrieve a beautiful, kind of like an arrow quiver. It's kind of like, I guess the right way to put it is like midnight blue with stars on it, or like stars kind of patterned on it. If you look at the night sky, that's what it would look like. That's what so quiver and battle axe.
Well, that's very good. All right. Well, thanks for your help there. I didn't catch your name. What is your name, Mr. Emissary?
Just call me Stark.
Stark. Emissary Stark.
Yes.
Well, your eminence, will escort you safely to Byroden.
That would be lovely.
Yes. Ah, Hope. This is Emissary Stark.
Hope will elbow PJ and say, this is PJ. It's a pleasure to meet you, Emissary Stark.
Hi, thank you for the rescue. I've already gave your friend here some of my gratitude. We found a couple of nice things as well.
Oh yes, found this. There's this nice little hand axe, and there's this arrow quiver. See, it's very pretty.
Hang on to that. I might need it later.
Absolutely. Yep.
So, do you know anything about the company you've been keeping? And she gestures to the body. Emissary Stark.
I just met her a couple nights ago. I mean, we were talking and we were, she's like, hey, she does the thing, she does that thing that you just say, hey, come back to my place, we'll talk and we'll chill. And then next thing I know, I was tied to the bed. And at first I thought, you know what? I'm not here to shame anyone. But then she told me she was going to, use me in a ritual and basically drain my blood.
Question about that ritual. Does that sound familiar to me? Or,
not specific, but the comments might have made to you, I don't want to say in jest, but it's like, that's something that parents will do sometimes. Honey, we need to have to talk. But this isn't it. So.
Can I insight check the emissary? I don't know what to think of this guy.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay, cool, because I think Hope and I are both extremely confused. That is a dirty 20.
Alright. You gather that, this guy was, probably met this nice girl and they thought they were going to have a good time, and then she kind of got one over on him, I guess. Like, he doesn't know anything about the ritual. He wouldn't know anything about the cult or the powerful peoples. He just was kind of blindsided by all this. And so
she'll just
yeah, he's trying to maintain a positive spirit, but this, he's like, being, this was something that went, this was something that didn't exactly happen like he thought it would. So
okay. Well, Emissary Stark, we are headed back to Byroden, so I'm sure that I keep I keep forgetting his name. The
Winger?
yeah, the war
Ralphus.
war. Yeah, that's it. The War Ringer will be pleased to see you arrive finally. He's been waiting for you.
Yeah, I suppose I owe him a couple of drinks. He'll never let me live this down.
I wouldn't necessarily share this openly. And she kind of just smirks at him.
Let's just say I'll keep out the part about the body.
I mean, I won't tell if you won't tell.
Secret safe with me. Anything else in the cave?
I think I will say I think PJ is trying to take in as much physical description of Marcy, like the clothes and everything, and is trying to remember as much as possible to be able to pass on to Angel of this is what Marcy ended up looking like, this is what happened and everything, so information can be passed on to the parents.
Sure. Yeah, you take in. You're basically Sean Spencering it, where you zoom in close. Red hair, like he described, it's a little different, little shorter. Red hair, kind of Caucasian skin, noble, like really prim and proper, but she was also wearing I'd say white robes with the PP on the powerful people rune on them as well, and yeah. So you take that in, you basically write down the notes, and as you all kind of go outside of the cave, you hear the marching of footsteps, and the three of you recognize some of these folks from Byroden. You also recognize among them some of the refugees from the encampment. And Hope, what sticks out to you is you see what appears to be a quartet of folks who kind of stick out from the rest of them, including the 7.5-foot tall Goliath man who kind of traveled with you to town for a moment before he left for his family and you left to go to the Pie Festival.
Hope does this thing where she kind of like uses her tail to kind of whip it at his butt and just be like, "Hey, I thought you were headed to see family down south."
As he walks back, he goes, as he does that, as you do that, you kind of turn to, oh, look at you. Actually, yes, this is my family. This is Hunky and Mother. This fine man as well is not part of the family. We just happened to pick him up along the way. And Huit, he points to Huit, and it's like, yes, we're on our way to Helden Fair.
And I think it kind of connects with Hope for a moment, and she says, "Professor, weren't you doing a bunch of guest lectures a year ago? Over at the Lyceum."
Remind me, History of Alchemy 101? You were like in the third row.
Yeah.
Next to the chatty one, the one who wouldn't keep quiet, that gnome.
Yeah, the gnome. I have no idea who that guy was. He was just very obnoxious. Very know-it-all.
I never forget the face. Names, on the other hand, which is surprising for an archaeologist. This is why I carry books around, so I don't have to remember them myself.
It's fine. There were like 150 of us in that lecture. I wouldn't expect you to remember me. I'm Hope, by the way. Hi.
It is
I did not
surprising to meet you here.
I did not expect to run into you. It's very strange to see your professor outside of the outside of academic contexts. Wow. Oh my goodness. We're headed to Byroden anyway, so like, do we all just want to walk and talk? And she looks over at Hoot, kind of like, flirty eyes and smile.
We're actually going the opposite direction, and he does like this finger, like it's very proppant as he does that. We're actually going the opposite direction. We held in fair.
Fair. Well, we gotta escort the emissary back, but we were also gonna be in Howland Fair. What are you guys doing over that way?
As you say that, you see Zendark, and he, good to see you. Good to see you four again, or good to see you three again. And he's like, we're a bunch of us. We're going to Howland Fair. The situation has gotten worse over there, and it's really kind of turned into how do you say it? A poop show. Raging,
yeah,
and so Ralphus asked some of us and some of his militia to go there too. We could use your help. We could send a couple. I was just thinking as you were talking, we could send a couple of my guys. We could bring the emissary back to Byroden.
Yeah, we could send a couple of the militia to escort the emissary back to there, yeah. And that way we can go to Hilden Fair.
I mean, we were going to go that way anyway. That seems like a plan, as long as Emissary Stark is safe.
Emissary Stark's like, I should be able to take care of myself. He says that with his hand raised, and he's still got the rope around him. Like, he's still... I should be fine. And
Hope tilts her head to the side like she doesn't believe a word this guy's saying.
Zundar kind of motions. He kind of like waves his fingers, and you see a pair of kind of beefy goblins kind of approach, and he's like, the twins will take him back. They'll be fine.
She leans over to the twins and she says, "Don't let him out of your sight. He gets distracted by pretty ladies."
They both look at each other and they just nod. The one on the right's like, "We're not gonna ask. Let's just go."
That's valid. That's so valuable. I think as we're doing the split where we're gonna head off and the embassy's gonna head back, PJ will gather up all the notes about what happened with Marcy and everything and hand them to the emissary and just go, there is a pale elf with pale skin and an orc together. They're people from Whitestone.
Mm-hmm.
If you can hand us to them and say that the next time I meet them, I will give them a better detailed update, I would appreciate it. We're looking for Usk and Angel.
Hi, Angel. Remember that. He kind of looks at you for a moment too, and he kind of gives you kind of a squints about it. I'll keep an eye out for him. And probably not the same elven man I ran into on the way here. That guy kind of looked like, yeah. And he says that he walks away.
I think PJ's immediate reaction is to look at Hope like, what the fuck?
Hope looks over at him and is like, "What?" Like she just mouths, "What?"
Yeah, I think PJ just looks very much like, what the... Okay, that's... What?
You get a message in your... you get a message in your head that says, we have a lot of things to unpack later.
You get a response back of, yeah, apparently we do.
And then we just go off to Helen Fair.
Yeah.
It's just very quiet.
Yeah, the two of you are quiet. As you go to Feldenfair, the road is pretty pretty calm. And is there anything either Huit'zi'lin or Edwald would like to ask anything
Well,
about
I'd take my time to introduce myself to Huit'zi'lin. Greetings, I am Sir Edwald. You can call me Ed.
It is quite lovely to meet you. So you are traveling with my former, I guess, student for a few lectures, anyway. What brings you down here? What was this business
mostly.
with the dwarfen fellow?
The emissary, yeah, he went missing. So we found him in a cave, about to kind of be sacrificed for blood.
There wasn't anybody trying to raise the dead or anything like that by any chance.
Got to think of it. Yeah. The lady who was very much trying to, spill his blood and also then try to spill our blood. She did have a couple of undead with her who, well, they're now deader than undead. Now they're properly dead. They don't move.
This is why you should never display baby's first book of necromancy in a tourist trap. This is what I tell everybody. I am getting beyond the point here now. I happened to stop by somewhere where I found something very interesting, where it seemed as if somebody has been digging through old books, which apparently tell you how to raise the dead for some reason.
Well, that's a bit disturbing. Well,
disturbing and irresponsible is what I would say. You honestly, there's a saying which sometimes it does belong in a museum, but sometimes you should just leave things where they are because it's part of people's culture and heritage. But sometimes books like that do belong in a museum where people can keep an eye on them.
Or just burn it just to be sure.
What an incredible waste of paper.
Well, I can think of other uses for the paper. But it could always. I think it's just undead. The dead should just stop moving, right? No more moving once the heart stopped.
One would hope. That does seem to be the natural way of things for most occurrences. I'm sure there are examples otherwise.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we won't. Well, hopefully that emissary Stark won't get kidnapped by another person trying to sacrifice him. Just don't follow strange ladies into caves. I think that's generally the lesson of the story there.
Although, if my father had followed that advice, I would not be here right now.
Oh, well, there you go. It's also she's like part of a cult, I think. Powered people, power something. PP.
That sounds like, honestly, are they, trying to enter political office or something along those lines? It sounds like one of those slogans.
It might be. I don't know. They also doing stuff with the Iron Empire. You can ask Zimdok a bit more about that if you want. Yeah, it's weird.
What is the current sort of like I guess, knowledge that's going on about what's happening in the Iron Empire. Yeah.
As you've heard of the information you probably would have heard of during your travels is that the Iron Emperor is old and he's been kept alive by blood magic. You've heard rumors of schism and possible rebellion, typical of those type of empires. Recently, you've heard that the prince was exiled by his father for speaking out against his dad and somebody at court. That's a mix of what you've heard of, plus Zundark does. In the short time you've traveled together, he would have confirmed that. He was like, "Yeah, there was this this person who entered my father's court. She's ensnared him and convinced him and some of his people to give all their money to the powerful peoples, and I spoke out against it, and I was exiled along with some of my friends and folks who thought the same way that I did." And so, and as you're talking, Edwald, Zundark does walk up and explain yes as well, and he's like, we've temporarily taken up home in Byroden. The Warringers allowed us to use some of the area in town and just kind of setting up shop. And he's like, "I'd like to return home, but that's not a possibility right now." But
Yeah, you got to watch out for these the powerful peoples. They sent manticores out to kill old Zundark here, and well, one got me good, but I got it back a bit.
that's right.
That's
Quite
impressive. I
impressive.
can't say I have come across a manticore before.
Came across a couple of them. Not fun to fight.
Lots of spines, from what I hear.
Yeah. Nasty little creatures. Don't fight them alone.
Tell me, my friend, what is your relationship to more arcane pursuits by any chance? I am trying to figure out exactly what is up with this odd doll that I found, along with Baby's first book of necromancy.
Oh, well, I don't know anything really about magic. It's all just you probably want to talk to Open PJ. They're the ones who know all the.
I'm more of a primal caster myself, as opposed to an arcane caster, but this is not, shall we say, in my wheelhouse of knowing what this does, and it's a good thing the weather is fine. I don't mind, having this bundled up in my coat. But look at this. Does this look as if it belongs in a tourist location?
I will inspect the doll.
Yeah, I'm not. It's still mostly bundled up in my car.
I don't know. Maybe it's like one of those really creepy tourist places where they try to scare people, so they put like weird, creepy children's stuff in there.
Honestly, it's a rather odd marketing ploy, I have to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, whatever brings the money in, right?
How about my old student and your companion? How are your studies progressing with regards to more arcane matters?
They're progressing. A lot has happened in a year. I'm learning that some of my magic is unusual and scary, but other than that, academically things are going great. And she kind of looks at PJ and says, so the professor has a creepy doll. You want to check it out?
I mean, I can at least identify it.
This is what I'm
The-
aiming for, because I know it has something to do with conjuration, but conjuring what is the question?
PJ sort of like rubs their hands together, cracks their knuckles, and then sort of holds their hand, like grabs the items off this bandolier that they wear, and like sort of contorts it all into one hand, and then holds out the other hand towards the doll, and is going to cast Identify.
Okay. Basically, you're holding the doll as this is going on.
I believe I have to do Identify. You have to touch it.
Okay.
I think Hope takes the doll from the professor's clothes and just hot potatoes it over to PJ, like, hey, heads up!
Yeah.
Creepy
So
doll.
you identify this thing as a carionette. And as you do that, yeah, it's a carionette, so it is not of this world, but the doll itself is really magical. As you identify it, you notice that its face twists in kind of in anger for a moment, and she takes out the needle and tries to stab you, but misses.
Oh god. Oh, thank goodness. I think as it goes to stab PJ will literally chuck it away. Like, nope.
Okay.
That's
And he's like-
why I didn't want to touch it.
Certainly, Identify required me touching it. That is a carionette.
What's it carrying?
ADM, what is a carionette?
Oh, well, a carionette is a doll. It's when you identify it is a. It appears innocent, but basically what it does is it stabs you with the silver needle, and tries to swap out its soul for yours. And as you chuck it, you already chucked it.
Yeah.
And you hear someone from the nuns like, "What the hell is this?" And you see one of the guards go down.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. That doll swaps its soul with you. You get stabbed by the needle. Do not touch the doll. Nobody touch the doll.
Well, I think that's a bit late for that now.
The person
I'm aware,
already
but
touched
nobody
the
else
doll.
touched the I'm aware. Nobody else touched the doll.
I think it's already happened, hasn't it? I mean, he collapsed.
Guy collapsed.
Hey.
Everyone
I'll go
Oh,
over
wait.
to the guard.
Hold on.
Right.
Does this is it an attack roll to stab the person?
It is, but the doll was chucked like in the middle of a crowd. You can't see
Oh.
it.
No! God damn it! No!
I am sorry.
Someone's like, "This is weird."
Here, dear.
And a couple of the militia just kind of looking like confused, and one of them's like, "Hey, stay with Bill. Let's take him back to the city.
Oh no, not Bill.
Take him, yeah, take him back. The rest of you keep moving. We have to get to Helden Fair."
Can I see the doll? Can I see the doll?
As you move forward and everyone starts to move forward, you see the doll.
Can I destroy this doll? Can I attack this doll? Can I hurt it?
I'm
Well,
gonna.
I think the doll now has the man's
It's
soul
already
in it.
it's got Bill's
Well-
soul in. Hope.
The other thing, PJ, what you learn in that identify is if the carionet's body is destroyed, the carionet and the target die.
Darn it.
So you
Yeah,
probably don't want.
Isn't saying to like nobody touch doll, nobody do anything with the doll.
What is Bill doing? That he's so he just collapses, or is he now
He-
possessed by this doll?
No, he collapses. The soul swap.
Bill back!
It takes an hour, so it takes an hour to do. So after 1 hour, which it gains the control of Carionet's body. So, and
Should we make sure that Bill can get his body back? Could I like I don't know.
it's like there's no time. It's like the militia leader's like, hey, there's no time. We got to keep moving.
What about
Can't cast a spell to disrupt what's the
not that
soul
kind?
thingy.
Zundok does look over PJ.
I'm not that kind of mage.
The other information, and I apologize for kind of piecing this because I didn't expect you guys to trigger the Carionet so soon. But PJ, what you do learn is that a protection from good and evil. Let's see if it has to happen. No, okay. It had to have been cast before, so.
I'm not that kind of. I'm not that kind of caster. This is so sad.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Well, I don't know. So maybe. What if we stab the needle into Bill again?
PJ, you would know the doll has to be the one that does it.
Has to be the doll. Has to be the doll that does it.
And so basically, Bill in the Carionet's body has to be the one that stabs his body to get it back.
Okay. So. Alright. Okay.
So he has control of the doll now.
Bill controls
After 1 hour. After 1 hour, he will. After 1 hour.
and something has Bill.
Yeah.
So, if we tie Bill's body up, Bill in the doll can then stab his body with the needle and soul. Good, right?
Yeah.
In an hour, yes.
Okay then.
And the militia leader's like, do you relay this information?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
PJ is relaying everything that they know about Carionet.
Okay. So the militia leader's like, okay, good. You two watch over Bill. In an hour, make sure that happens. You know, make sure he stabs the body, get it back. Like, and you know, there's a hint of desperation in the militia leader's eyes. It's like, we got to keep moving, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
That was
That
unfortunate.
was a very strange turn of events, I have to say.
Do you often carry around evil dolls?
Oh, this is definitely the first time it's happened.
Okay, good. And that was the only evil doll you have on your person?
To my knowledge, yes, but I do pick up random things on the odd occasion.
Okay.
It is unfortunately a byproduct of the profession that sometimes you dig things up or find things which are, well, not so great. Although, to be fair, I wasn't digging anywhere. I just did not expect to find this in the cabin. The larger question I have is, how did it get there, and why would somebody have this?
Well, I can tell you it's not of this world, so I have no real idea of how it could possibly turn up. There's possibilities that it did just sort of, I don't know, plane shift or something, but other than that, I can't give you much details on it.
Am I able to, while we're being sort of like marched along by this militiaman, is it possible for me to just see what I know about any history relating to these things?
Sure. Go ahead and roll a history check.
It's been going quite well, so we'll do that one again. That's pretty good. I think that's 19. No, 17.
All right. So yeah, carionets originate from a world called O'Dare. You would have likely learned about this in your studies about the mists of Ravenloft, some of the worlds. And in O'Dare, you learn that the toy maker Giuseppe had his wish for a family when his creation Figlio came to life, and so he presented his son to the village of O'Dare. The local children loved Figlio, but their parents were skeptical, and they were saying the marionette was nothing but a toy. Over time, this enraged Figlio, and he convinced Giuseppe to craft siblings for him. And then, when the time was right, Giuseppe's creations did away with all the adults in O'Dare. So, the village was later claimed by the Mist and ruled by Figlio, who changed his name to Malignio. Balls get to other realms is they'll ship themselves to other realms in the Mist. You've heard of dolls ending up in Ravenloft and in Darkon, but just like anything else in the Mist, sometimes things escape. And so the way that these things could have come to Exandria is if by chance the Mists, they escaped through the Mists and came here, or someone brought them here.
Interesting. And very disturbing.
And you continue traveling. As you continue, you can see a few different smoke, like kind of rising smoke plumes from Helden Fair. And you approach a sign, and it says Helden Fair. And normally Helden Fair, I'm going to put in the chat, is spelled like this. But it was changed to add an extra L in the name. Kind of like in Back to the Future Part 2, Hill Valley becomes Hell Valley. It's like someone crudely added another L. And you can hear shouts of anger, and you can hear screams and broken glass and just fighting as you approach. When you reach the town, I need someone to roll a d20 real quick. Anybody?
Who wants to do it? I'll do it.
3.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what'd you roll, Ann?
Well, I rolled a 19, but Kai rolled a 3.
Okay.
So I don't.
As you approach, you see a couple of they're humanoids, look like town residents. They just like run charging at you, and as they do, a couple of this woman kind of takes out this big warhammer, and she kind of swings it, knocking them both down. And she turns to the rest of you. She's got a couple scars. She's blonde hair, kind of in plate armor, and she says, "Oh, you've arrived here just in time. It's been hell here, but please,
Yeah, we
there's
saw the
sanctuary."
sign.
Yes, yes. Normally, I'd find that kind of funny, but not right now. Allow me to escort you to the sanctuary in town. Please, all of you, follow me. And she brings you in the city. It's just kind of for being a small town, it's like a war zone. It's like, again, bodies are, people are just out fighting each other. Some people are looting. Just like imagine like a bunch of barbarians just screaming and raging at once. And you make it through. You do hear some of the militia kind of struggling to defend themselves, but they manage to get to the sanctuary. You're all inside. Boots and his family's inside along with Zindak. And once you go inside, it's basically a very large mill, and there's some townsfolk who aren't raging, kind of some children, mothers. They're just kind of keeping to themselves in the corner. And the woman who you met earlier, she goes, I am Jalen Gwens. I'm a historian. We health and fair is normally not like this. But thank you for coming. But, we need to find a way to cure these people.
Yeah, what happened there?
Well, the local alchemist had created an herb, that people could put into their food and to increase their brain power and make them more. How did she put it? Optimal and more, more energized, and it turned them into monsters. It, more. There was even one instance where multiple people were murdered, and it appeared like a ritualistic killing. It was at one of our temples.
This alchemist, where did they say they came by this special herb?
They received it from one of their leaders. I can't remember the name. I think it was Patrick or something. He said they would distribute the herb, and once the people of Helden fared, consumed it and were optimal, Patrick would come and we would learn from him and possibly go to another one of his seminars.
It's sounding a bit familiar.
Very familiar. In the cave, do you remember there was a what Marcy said at the end?
Marcy said something about Patrick.
Patrick, I'm so sorry. Mother and father, I am so sorry. That was the last words. Patrick has something to do with powerful people. This is bad. This is very bad.
Definitely part of the cult.
Part of this whole thing. This is very, very bad.
No.
I don't suppose anybody has any of this particular around that I can still study it a little bit.
Might find some of it in the shops around town if you can get around finding people. The alchemists also lived in the manor at Violet Hill. That's just on the outskirts of town, like just right outside of town. That's more likely, if you wanted to find a solid piece of the herb to study, that's where you'd likely find it.
Yeah, I think looking at the alchemist's place is probably a good start.
I would agree. I definitely do want to try and get my hands on a sample of this herb, but I haven't.
Well, if we go to the alchemist's house, we're going straight to the source.
And do you have any people in the village who have managed to take a look at some of those who are afflicted by this rage?
Oh, not in here. No, everyone in here is, calm. They've had family members who succumbed to the rage, but it's not. We've had a hard time trying to pin people down. These folks want to fight. If you try to engage them, they'll try to fight you to the death. And we try to keep casualties as minimal as possible.
Yeah. Obviously, don't want to hurt anyone. Who's just on a bad trip.
Would it be possible for me to make some kind of medicine check relating to knowledge of anything that I've heard of that might cause something like this? Or
yeah, go for it.
Okay. Like specifically, this will be like anything that I've been able to read before. Like this caused this in this village in 400 post divergence or some nonsense like this. That's not very good. It's an 8.
Yeah, you've heard of mixtures, possibly, charging, kind of channeling and charging people's emotions, different synapses in the brain. I don't know if that's the right word. Some people kind of like an aphrodisiac, for like a better word, kind of like, or a stimulant. That would probably be that'd probably be something that this is likely a stimulant, but not. It's there's also, from what it sounds like this could be also used to manipulate people, or put them under your control. But
Well, where are we in relation to this Violet Hill, you said?
yes, we are in the center of town. It is probably about 8 blocks to the east or to the west. And I can't really spend any men to give you cover, but I'm sure the folks you brought here, they can help with that.
Yeah, a bit of a distraction to let us get through to there.
All right. Well, we should probably start heading our way then.
Definitely.
Yeah, you folks, you make your way down the city blocks. Anybody who tries to get close to you, the militia will keep them out of the way. Even Hoots and Punky Mother are helping. Zundok is kind of he's with you as well. I would say, Craig, go ahead and roll a d20. Yeah, no one's really able to get close to you. You reach kind of past the town gates, and you approach this the manor that's right outside. Rustic gates, overgrown grass that appears to be covering the parts of the walkways. It's a beautiful kind of wooden stone, structure. The upper floors, like you can see parts of the ceiling from your vantage point. They look like they're missing. Possibly they've collapsed onto itself. And as you get closer, you notice the door is slightly ajar.
By any chance, are there any in the area around us anything, any small animals like birds or potentially rats or chipmunks or anything along those lines which are in the area?
No. It's quiet and no skittering, no flapping of wings.
Hmm. Well, in lieu of that, would anyone mind if I took a little look inside for a moment? Just to gauge if we are going to be running into any resistance, or we could all just go in together if you like. But I have a thing or two up my sleeve which can get me in and out quietly.
Yeah, use your sleeves and get in there.
Fantastic.
I'm happy to follow 5 10 feet behind, just to back up if necessary.
I am going to turn into a mouse
Okay.
using my wild shape.
All right.
And I am going to try and skitter. Potentially, I'm hoping to get in a like a broken window, or not like the front door, somewhere that would be more an entrance a mouse would take.
Sure. You do notice a little, probably about 20 feet away from the door, from the front door. There is a little. There are some holes, kind of from the wood, and you do notice a mouse-sized hole that you can go into.
Excellent. Yes, so I shall go into said hall and begin to look around.
Okay. In this particular spot, you notice you look like you're in the. It looks like you're in the dining room. An old, elongated table sits at the center. There are 8 chairs on each side. There's similar to the cabin, but unrelated. There's dust. It appears this area hasn't been used in a long time. There's crumbs of food on the ground. There's also there's also kind of plants that have grown in here as well. But from where you're at to the north, goes into the kitchen.
So in terms of what I'm seeing, it looks as if this place has not been touched for a while.
Yeah.
And the building itself is more than one floor.
From this from what you gather, yeah. It appears as such, but also the entrance, kind of the entranceway, is to the right of the room. If you wanted to go out that way.
Does it look as if there are anything? Is there anything related to perhaps like a cellar entrance or something along those lines? Any way to go further down?
Not in this room.
I will head into another room.
Okay. You go into the entranceway. You notice this. You see kind of vines. You're able just to kind of move around those. Much like the outside, and the house has seen better days. You notice the upper floor has collapsed on the landing, so there's no way to go up. There's an open door to the right.
I'm going to squeak inside it.
Okay. And inside, it appears to be a game room. The walls are dirty. There's a bear's head mounted on the wall. It's dusty. You notice gray saliva dripping from its lips. You also see a broken billiards table with 3 pool cues. And then there's an open door into another room, which appears to be, from what you gather, it looks like it was a study.
Did you say that the bear's head has active saliva dripping from it? Did I hear
Go ahead and roll a perception check. We'll do this before we go to break.
With Druid stuff here, do I keep my perceptions or do I use the beast's perception? Do I keep my stats or do I use its stats?
For the sake
You keep your mental stats is what it is, right? And when you're
Yeah.
wild shaped, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
it's not probably more.
Wild shape is mental stats. Stay the same.
So I would use its wisdom for perception, or wait, what is perception? Perception is so I would use its wisdom or mine.
Yours.
Yes.
Okay, all right,
Yours.
sweet. Oh, I'm not seeing anything with a 5.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh.
It
But
appears
do
to
I
be,
smell anything?
Um,
If I can make something based on smell, my little mousey has advantage on that.
right. I mean, go ahead and smell. Go ahead and smell it.
Sure, why not? That's even worse. No, so it's just a 5.
As you do that, it just appears to be normal ooze. Is it time for a break?
We'll be back in like 10 minutes.
Welcome back, everyone, to Tales of Exandria, Swords of Byroden. Hope you got your water, hope you did some stretching, or anything else that helps you kind of prepare for this next hour and 20-something minutes as our heroes begin to explore the manor of Violet Hill. One of these heroes, now a small mouse, has been studying the inside of the game room and possibly finding a way for everyone to go in. And the saliva dripping from the bear's lips apparently is just saliva. Maybe. Yeah. Huit'zi'lin, what would you like to do? Muted. Probably. It's not a TTRG. It's not a TTRPG stream if someone's not muted and talking.
Yeah, I just had to get back to that little spot where I could hit the button. So, I mean, it is very strange that it is leaking mucus. You said there was another exit from this room to another room.
Yeah, it's straight. The next room is just an open doorway, straight north from where you're at. That's the bear head.
Okay. I am going to sort of cautiously make my way forward and sort of like peek through that doorway.
Okay. First, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
I used all my good rolls at the beginning of the game. 9.
That's okay, because I rolled a natural 1. As you're moving closer to the entrance, you notice that the saliva, it appears to be part of a larger, kind of more. There's more to it. You've encountered great oozes probably in the past, or you've read about them. That's what's dripping from the bear's mouth. It is gray ooze, but you managed to get past it, and you are looking into the next room, what appears to be the study. And it is massive, but it appears to be in ruins. You can, from where you're at the other opposite side of the room, you notice there is a makeshift bed with blankets. That's what stands out to you. There is also on the opposite sides, or to the right of the bed, is an empty bookshelf. And on the left are what's lighting this room are 2 red candles on sconces.
I'm going to very carefully scuttle up to that, that bed, and just see what might be there.
All right. At the bed, you actually see a pamphlet, and it reads at the top, "Powerful People's Mission Statement." I'm going to put this in the characters chat, or the out of character chat. So that's what it says, "Powerful People's Mission Statement." And you read, it is just one page. The other pages appear to be missing. But there are four entries on them. The first is, "Success is a state of mind," and "Success is a state of what I am and my value to the world that will embrace me." The next one, "My success is my earned right, as are the things I believe will come to me." The next one is, "There are no true victims even when it comes to higher beings." The fourth is, "Tribute is honor, and I will use this tribute to uphold myself and others beyond the petty squabbles of the world."
And there is nobody in this bed currently?
No. Nobody in the bed, but it appears to have been recently used.
No signs in this room, from what I can see, of anything like alchemical equipment or mortars and pestles, or...
Yeah.
All right. This there's no other exits.
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Because I'm still wondering about. He's an alchemist. Where is his stuff? You know, where was he doing his work, or she? I'm not entirely sure. 12.
12. Given your vantage point, you do notice some faint footprints. They lead over to where the candles and the sconces are. So there's one candle, there's two different candles. And given your archaeologist background, you think that if I pull one of these, it'll open a secret door.
Okay. With this information in hand, I'm going to mouse my way back to the group and change my form and relay what I've seen. So I am, as I stretch out of being a mouse, being that small can be very, very interesting to say the least. But I hope nobody has any squeamish qualities with regards to living oozes, because we might need to kill one to get into a certain place. They're not the most beautiful creatures in the world, but I suppose everything has its place. Digestion of dead things and whatnot.
How well do you think they take fire?
There are various different varieties of oozes. I'm not sure if I quite remember what these ones
About
enjoy
axes.
or don't enjoy.
You're all level 3. Go ahead, roll history checks.
Plus one there. Okay. 13.
2,
Can I stop rolling sixes, please? That's a 9.
9,
Well, that's not bad. 14.
14.
11.
Edwald and Huit'zi'lin, when Hope asked about fire, you believe gray oozes are resistant to fire damage. And cold and acid.
Sorry, what was the pause part?
Oh,
Fire and...
acid and cold.
Interesting.
So,
If I recall, these specific ones, you're looking more to just, poke it and stab it maybe, or not fire or cold acid. They work, but not that well.
I'm good with the stabbing.
Right. And Edwald, since you use weapons, you've heard that any non-magical metal weapon that hits the ooze, it can corrode. And the weapon would take permanent damage.
Yeah, but you're gonna need magical weapons to. It's it. Otherwise, it's gonna start
of metal
going bad.
Of metal. If you have a wooden staff, it should be okay, or a club. Or
Big
fist.
clubs might work.
PJ just pulls out the pistol.
Thunder.
Yeah, don't hit it with
would
the
work.
pistol. You want to shoot
Lightning,
it with the pistol.
maybe?
Yeah, shoot it, of course.
Oh. Okay, I can. Yeah. Seems weird. This would assume that it is an intelligent ooze. Psychic damage? Might be good. She just starts running through the list of the things she can do, and she's like... She just shrugs. She's like, I don't know. Do we want to go in now?
I think it should be safe enough for us to go in and have a look around.
Okay.
I don't really have any magical weaponry. Oh, unless this weird yellow-green axe thing is magical.
Ask PJ.
Oh, PJ.
I'm tapped out of that.
Well, damn.
Let's wait, hell.
Oh, fair enough.
Let me look at something real quick.
Doing that, you can do it.
Can you check? Well, PJ, you know stuff about things. Tell us. You're the smart one here. That's not a professor.
I can roll Arcana. Try.
I mean, can we both look at it and roll an Arcana and see? Wouldn't it take some time to attune to it though? If it's a magic.
Only if it's attunement required.
Damn.
Oh, that's fair. Let's see. What do you got? What am I getting for a 17? 17.
It's radiating enchantment magic. It's about the same, but it's about the same strength as enchantment. So like +1, or like a bonus to your damage and attack.
Does it feel like the locket? Like the same strength level?
Yes, the same strength level.
Yeah.
Different types of magic.
Okay. Definitely gives off magic vibes. You should use that one.
Okay, I will use this axe, this fancy axe.
And we'll say because of the strength, you're able to deduce that it is a +1 to your damage and attack rolls without you expending a slot spell.
Okay, well, I wasn't using magic to try to detect anything. So.
Right. Part of it is me being. Part of it is being a generous man, so you guys don't have to use that because I hate when it's like, oh, you get this cool magical weapon, but you can't use it yet because you have not identified it.
Oh, okay.
But we'll say logically, because it is the same strength, you're able, and since the locket was identified, you're able to just, hey, it's probably +1. So.
I mean, it feels like the locket, so it's probably this. Yeah, it's probably similarly as strong. Yeah, no. You said you needed a magic weapon. Definitely use that one.
Excellent. Right, I'm good to go.
Right. So you're going the same way, or Huit'zi'lin, you're reading the same. Okay.
Yes, I think I can lead them.
Yeah.
As far as it goes, but when we get up to the, the room that the bear and the ooze is in, I guess we could stop just by the entrance to that room to see if we can snipe it from the entrance.
Away is it from the entrance?
It's not from the entrance. The bear head is hanging. Yeah. Well, as you enter, you notice the bear head. It's mounted on a wall. And the entrance is not that far, so you could bypass it with a successful stealth check.
I mean, we could try and be sneaky.
I'm happy to try.
So we can certainly try.
Oh, balls. That's unfortunate.
I have a good stealth.
Okay, that's... Now, I don't think there's even point in rolling the second one. Let's just... Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so that's a natural 1. Plus 1, 2...
I rolled a 3. I rolled a natural 2.
I have a flat 20.
25.
Okay. Even with making some noise, the ooze doesn't move. It's still kind of going up and down. So you're able to bypass it. I rolled a 3 on the die and it's a 1, so
it only catches half of us.
Yeah. But only 1, and so it's like not worth it even though it's unintelligent. But you are, so now you're in the same as before, the study, which there's the makeshift bedroll with the pamphlet and the empty bookshelf, nothing on it, and the sconces.
I'm
Hello.
fairly convinced we can pull these to open something.
The minute you say
Oh.
that, you will go up and immediately check for traps.
Okay, roll investigation check.
Can I assist or can I do like an aid action, help action? Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Does that give PJ advantage if I help?
Assisting gives advantage.
Okay, I'm helping.
Hey! Natural 20.
Immediately right away, you notice there are no traps. And you notice that the sconce on the left appears to have been used more than the one on the right. Likely, if someone was going up and down through a secret entrance, it'd be the one on the left.
PJ, without really like we'll literally say there's no traps. And then just grab on the left and open it.
Right, it opens up into a secret door.
Well done.
Good work. Oh,
So-
Secret door.
so is this the room with the PP pamphlet on?
Yes, the PP pamphlets on the floor.
I'll pick up another one of these powerful people's pamphlets.
Is it just me, or does this manifesto read very similar to, those like multi-level marketing schemes where it's kind of like you bring in one person and then they're under you and they have to bring in like another person and they're under them, but they directly respond to, it just, the way it's written.
It does sound all like a big con.
Scheme.
It sounds like a cult.
Isn't that just what a cult is? It's just a giant pyramid scheme. I mean, I guess it depends on the cult.
Depends on the person who's running it. Not saying that from real life experience, but
Sure.
depends on the person who's running. But yeah, there's the stairway that leads down.
Let's go down.
Are we... Who's gonna go first?
We go
Depends if you
sneaky
want
or just
Stealthy?
stomp on down.
I
I'm having
will
scouts out ahead.
turn into a wolf.
That's a whole thing. You
Yeah,
go...
We've got
You
a
can
wolf.
go, you can also go and scout if you'd like, PJ. Sure. I'll hang back.
Still, point. Did you hang back and if anything happens, I can roam back and grab you quicker. Or Professor Wolf can.
My ears twitch in your direction. I have good senses, and not that you can hear me, but I have good sense into this form, so that's helpful.
Okay. Who's gonna go scout?
Mhm.
All right.
Me and
yes.
Professor Wolf.
Roll a stealth check.
Uh, 16.
All right.
Oh,
Gonna...
7.
Okay. Well,
But I do have advantage on perception checks, which is particularly what I wanted.
sure. All right. As you go down, you do see that this is there's a central room with shelves of components and liquids on one side. On the other side appears to be stone baths filled to the brim with black goop. There's also dry blood all over the wall and crudely drawn symbol like you saw on the necklace before, the ring hanging from chain. You also see there's a man in robes, similar to what Marcy was wearing, but they're a little bit dirty. He's trying to stir something in a large cauldron. with that impressive stealth check from earlier, he immediately turns. Or no, it's not him. There's also two men dressed in kind of hide armor, but also they're just kind of standing there. They both see you two, or see Wolf. How did you get down here? And the man at the end kind of turns like, "The hell's going on?" And he's kind of a curly face. One eye's kind of bigger than the other. He's kind of got hair standing on all end. And he's what the fuck is going on?
I cannot speak, so I'm going to leave it up to PJ to either attack or say something.
PJ is very not saying anything and is going to look at wow. What? I'm gonna look at Professor Wolf and basically sort of signal back up the stairs in a sense of go get them. And he's gonna pull the gun and is going to try to shoot the person.
The alchemist. I'll say. You know what? Roll an attack roll.
Was I visible at all? Okay, do I get advantage of it being a surprise attack?
Yeah, you get advantage.
Yay! Let's pull up my gun. Thank goodness for advantage. That is maths again. 18 to hit.
18 does hit.
Awesome. This also means I get sneak attack. Which is only one die, but it's still sneak attack. So I need that die, and I need that die. That's what I need to do. Thank you, give me that. So that's terrible. Oh, we sneak attacks next. That is 10 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah, the bullet. Just from out of nowhere, the bullet just strikes. He's like, what the, button blazes, and how could a wolf have done that? And then he goes, Loon, go kill that animal. And let's roll initiative.
Sweet.
Even us upstairs?
Yes.
I mean, you'd hear the.
Yeah, we just heard a gunshot. Yeah. So.
Okay. To double check, I'm not going to make any assumptions. Okay. Woo! Nice.
That was a good roll. I believe that roll. I got dirty 20.
What? Who does? Okay, wait. I got a 17.
Okay.
I got a 9.
Oof.
I got a 19.
Okay. All right. Top of the order, PJ. You get to go first.
Firing my gun again.
All right. I believe you're still invisible.
They probably know where he is now that he shot them.
Well, they would make a perception check to figure it out.
Fair.
So they'll do that. Yeah, a 4 is not going to do it, or a 5. So
Nope.
yeah, go ahead and make that roll with advantage.
That is a 21 to hit.
That hits.
Put these dice to the side. Grab these dice again. And that is 9 plus. Wow, keep maxing damage out on that thing. 15 points of damage.
Oh gosh. This is a big hit. He's looking
I
hurt.
keep maxing my sneak attack.
Oh, that's good. Alright, anything else from you?
I don't think there is anything else I can do, so I believe that is it.
Alright. Edwald, you're up. Hope you're on deck.
Okay. Well, hearing the gunshot and then the subsequent gunshot, I start running down the stairs.
Okay. You start running down the stairs. You reach the bottom. You already see two big beefy henchmen coming your way as Huit'zi'lin is coming. Right, with it, kind of not leading them to you, but he's in front, and so they're following him. Okay.
Am I able to attack him this round, or if I?
Yes. You can attack him. Go for it.
Awesome. Okay, I will use the magical axe. If
That's one weapon, don't forget.
+1, yes. So that's 7. So 25 to hit,
That hits.
and that's a D6, and it's also a +1 to damage. Yes.
Yep.
7 damage.
Okay.
Then, knocking transformers flying. Don't worry. I will then use regular axe with my other hand.
Okay.
That misses. That's 3 plus 10.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that'll be it.
All right. Hope, you're up.
Much distance from the top of the stairs going down to where these dudes are?
It's 30 feet.
Great. I'm not going anywhere near that. I am going to cast I'm going to cast a Scorching Ray.
Okay.
And I'm gonna look for the guy who looks like he's been hurt, and I'm gonna start by aiming towards that guy.
Okay. The closest you can see, the one fighting Edwald.
Excellent. I'm gonna go for that. Let me just make sure I'm okay. That's perfect. 10 to hit? No.
That misses.
14?
That does hit.
Okay. And an 8 doesn't hit. But I do 2d6 fire damage. That is, okay, yeah. That is 6 points of fire damage.
Okay. Yeah, you fire three rays. What's interesting is as they come out, they kind of sound. You almost think you hear a howl from them as they do, and 2 zip past the berserker, but 1 ends up hitting him. So now it's the alchemist's turn. Having been shot twice and not thrilled about it, you notice, AJ, you watch as he takes one of the vials and he's like, I'm going to find you. And he's going to throw it blindly. You notice it's a vial, and inside it appears to be red. Not like a healing potion. And that's a 2 on the die. So he throws it. It completely misses you. And as it hits the ground, like a puff of fire, a puff of fire comes out, but doesn't do anything. So he missed completely. And then next to the Berserkers, one is going to attack Edwald, and he's going to go Reckless. That's a 19 on the die.
Hits.
All right. 19 plus 4. Oh boy. 14 points of slashing damage.
Okay, yeah. Not great, but yeah, still good and still
And
trucking.
then the other one's going to attack. He's going to catch up to Huit'zi'lin. Also, he's going to go Reckless. Does a 22 hit?
Yeah. Currently, my AC is 13 as a wolf.
Okay. For 7 points of the slashing damage. And now it is Huit'zi'lin's turn.
Who is Edwald currently engaged with?
He is engaged with the wounded berserker. Un, we'll call him.
All right, fantastic. Is it possible to get into? Oh, I actually don't need this. So I am going to attack that creature because with as a wolf I have pack tactics, so I can have advantage against my attack rolls.
That sounds good.
Which I will definitely need. Gosh, does a 13 hit?
13 just hits. That is the same.
Fantastic.
You also get advantage because they went reckless, right?
Yeah, I mean it's already.
Well, yeah.
There's no double reckless, but
No,
there was.
I mean for people who don't have pack tactics.
Right. Yeah.
As this thing is attacking him, I'm coming up behind and I'm going to sort of jump up and bite into the back of this berserker's neck, sort of hanging on here into the area where the neck and the sort of like shoulder meet, and that's 10 points of damage.
Right. And
it needs to make a DC 11 strength saving throw.
Okay. No, he fails. So
it is now prone on the floor.
It's like triple advantage. If only. All right, top of the round, PJ. It is your turn, and this alchemist is looking bloody.
He's looking bloody and he can't find me at the minute. So I'm gonna shoot him again.
Shoot him again.
Pro though, right? Or is it the other guy?
Oh.
And not the alchemist.
Okay.
The alchemist? That is 21 against a hit.
21 does hit.
Put my dice to one side. Find the right thing. There we go. Grab that one and that one again. 15 points of damage again.
Describe to me how you take out this alchemist.
I think PJ very much is very calm, very hidden, very stealth. Just pops the gun down, lines up, and just straight up kneecaps him.
Yeah, takes out the knees. He falls. He's gripping. And when you say kneecapping, are you trying to keep him alive, or are you trying to kill him?
Oh yeah, very much trying to keep him alive, just for the fact of we're going to need more information from this guy.
Right.
So I'm just trying to take him out.
Sure, that's what you need to know. He's like, ah! It's like, boys, I need help. But Edwald, is your turn. With hope on deck.
Okay. Right, I'm going to attack the chap who hit me.
And you get advantage. Or
yes, of course. This will be with Magi Axe. 12 and did 11 on that, so that is 19.
Yeah, hits.
D6 plus 5. 8 damage.
Okay.
And I'll then smack him with my other axe. Does that also get advantage?
Yes.
10 plus 6, 16.
Okay, that hits.
Okay, and that's just a d6 plus 4, 7 damage.
Ooh, nice hit. All right. Anything else?
Yes, I think. Hold on. First time I've used a fighter. No, I've already used my bonus action to attack. So no, okay, that was good then.
I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, it's your go. One guy's prone on the ground, and the other's fresh as the day is born.
So the guy prone on the ground is unconscious?
He's still up. He's just really hurt. Or he's starting to look bloody. But the berserker, he's on the ground prone.
I am going to oh boy. Do I I don't know what to do. I'm going to how is Edwald looking?
He got hit for 14 points of damage last time.
Yeah, like, does he look like he's hurting a lot? Kind of.
I mean, Edwald, what are you?
What are you looking at? Like, how do you look from?
I'm looking like I'm better than half.
Okay.
So I could probably take another. I can probably take another hit like that.
Okay, let
Not
me.
too much more.
Okay. And you're still engaged with the guy that's upright?
There's a guy
Okay.
who's lying down. There's a guy out there. There's blood everywhere. Good fun.
Yeah, I'm feeling that. Okay, I'm gonna use a sorcery point to cast my inflict wounds from 30 feet, like from the top of the stairs,
Right.
at the one currently engaged with Edwald. That's still upright. Let's go. Okay. Plus 6. That's 15 to hit.
That hits.
That is 3d10 to the face. God, I love that. Let me see. Let's go. That's 10 points of necrotic damage. That was a very unfortunate roll.
Okay. Yeah, you cast your spell. It looks like, for a moment, like his face, it looks like something bit him. Like something just bit him on the face. Like a dog or a wolf. But then, like, he's still bleeding. But then it fades. So, alright, is that everything?
Yes, that will be my turn.
Okay. The alchemist is on the ground screaming and crying and holding his knee and trying his best not to bleed. The other berserker, the two berserkers, one is going to the wounded one's going to stand up. He's going to look at Edwald. He's going to take you out. He's going to take you down. He's not going reckless, but that is a 22 to hit.
Yep.
All right. Where are you, D12? There you are. Cool. For another 14 points of slashing damage.
Still standing.
The other berserker will look at Huit'zi'lin and get off my friend. He'll try to slash at him. That's going to be a miss. So now it's Huit'zi'lin's turn.
Is that our version of making my way downtown? That's got to be our thing now. I'm sorry.
I zoned out and heard
the
none of
one
that.
that is on the ground. Apologies. Was he taken out or is he still active?
He's still up and he's actually now standing again. He used have his movement to get up to his feet.
I am going to do the same thing. I'm going to attack him again, and hopefully tear his throat out. That would be great.
Okay. That's right, you still get back there.
Almost a natural 20, but it decided to be a 14 on the dice instead, which is an 18 to hit. So he needs to make a DC 11 strength saving throw.
16 on the dice.
All right, so he's not knocked prone, but he does take 7, 8, 9 points of piercing damage.
All right. Anything else?
No, that is it.
All right, back top of the round. PJ, it's your turn.
So I'm assuming the berserkers don't see me either.
No, they are fully. They are fully engrossed in combat right now.
That's fair. Which one looks more bloodied?
The one engaged with Edwald.
That's the one I'm firing at then.
Okay.
That is a 13 to hit.
That's his AC.
Very close. Whoa, yeah. That is 17 points of damage.
Oh yeah, you basically finish him from behind. He did not see that coming. Edwald, you just stand there for a moment, and the guy you're fighting drops, and you
Victory.
You figure, oh, good gunshot wound. Yeah, victory, gunshot wound. It's probably PJ. So he is down. Anything else?
No, that is it for now.
All right, Edwald, it's your turn.
Okay.
The
With
guy's
the
still
guy,
standing, looks perfectly healthy.
that guy collapses. I'm going to go over to the next guy and hit him with magical axe.
Okay.
I assume I don't have advantage or anything on this one, though. Can't need it. That is a what is it? 722.
That hits.
Okay. 6 damage.
Okay.
I will then use my bonus action to do second wind. Second wind, it's D10 plus 3. Get 5 points back, so I'm still not in great shape. Yeah, I'm still below a third health. Not good, but that's gone. You know what? Let's do something else. Let's do old action surge. Haven't done this one yet. And will attack again with magical axe.
Alright.
Yeah, not so good that time. 15.
15 does hit.
Oh, yes. Okay. 4 plus 9 damage.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And yes, I think that will be my turn.
Alright. Hope, it's your go.
So, did we... I'm gonna walk up behind Edwald. How far away is Edwald? Are you like 30 feet away still? Or did you move?
He's closer to the bottom of the stairs.
Okay. I'm gonna walk over to, like, I'm essentially on the step, like, above him. Like, not right at the bottom, but, like, a step above that. And I'm gonna I'm gonna just tap him in the shoulder and cast
Yes.
Cure Wounds at first level, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, you okay?"
Bleeding a bit. Suffered worse.
Yeah, you don't look so good, buddy. Let me fix that, and then I am going to cast Cure Wounds. Oh, nice. That is you get 11 points, 11 hit points back.
Oh, thank you.
And then she like taps. She like pets you on the shoulder. It's like, there you go, much better.
Thank you.
Yeah, Edwald, as you feel this healing energy come over you, it almost feels like when a dog kind of nuzzles you. You feel that sense of warmth. It's very affectionate. And then it's the Berserker's turn. The Berserker, seeing his companion dead and his boss screaming, he's just gonna drop his weapon. He's gonna get on his hands and knees. Like, I yield. I don't get paid enough for this, So
Good idea.
Hope
Smartest move you've made all day.
like steps from behind Edwald and says, "Who do you work for? Who pays you?"
he points into the laboratory and he points to the alchemist who is, clearly still screaming on the floor, holding his knees. But for purposes, you were out of initiative, so.
Hope looks at PJ. Wait, Hope doesn't see PJ. He's hiding. Is he hiding?
PJ. I mean, that's up to PJ.
I think seeing this person get down on their knees, PJ has taken their gun and is walking over towards the alchemist to put their gun to the head in a sense of "shut up, or I will kill you" sort of mode.
He's like covering his mouth now. One hand's on his bleeding, or one hand is on his knee, the other's on his mouth. So it's like he gives you a nod. Like he essentially nods to the air because he still cannot see you. Like, but I'm guessing he sees Hope approaching. Like he's giving that nod. He's like, oh, he's not. She's not. Okay.
She doesn't approach. She just takes a step to the side, like not hiding behind the half orc. Not hiding behind Edwald just so she's visible, but she's still safe distance, like
right
at the stairs.
But basically, nodding to the disembodied voice that's around him. He's like, I'll talk. I'll cooperate.
PJ, who at this point will actually come properly out of stealth mode, is going to look at the rest of the party as what do we want to know? Sort of look.
I will transform back into my normal self and sort of give a doggy shake, shaking out the wolf. Did not taste too fresh, that man. But looks like we've done a good job here. That's great. You, sir, are the alchemists that had fed everyone these fantastic herbal remedy?
Yes.
So, the question is, why? What were you hoping to gain from an entire village, town, raging like mad people?
Go ahead and roll a persuasion or intimidation check with advantage.
Going to see which one is better. They're both the same. Okay. 19.
Okay.
For persuasion.
All right, persuasion. He kind of breathes for a moment. He goes, The idea was to get people angry, and originally it wasn't when I received the ingredients and the recipe for this. I thought it was just an herbal, to increase people's brain power and and make them better. But once people started becoming rage filled and people started hurting each other, I was directed to give more people this, and the idea was to create an environment that would bring in the bloody siren and bring her to this village.
At that, Hope immediately starts, like, her hand starts channeling fire, like she's ready to blow something up. And tell me, why would you want the bloody siren here in this village?
Patrick wants to marry her. Wants to control her. But he can't do that because she's married to somebody else, to another woman. She's already married to somebody else.
You do not know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're trying to do. This Patrick is out of his damn mind. If you bring that to this village, it will destroy everyone in it.
What's the bloody siren?
Have I heard of this thing before?
It's Vesh. We kind of talked about it earlier.
Yeah, I just mean my character. I don't know if my
my
character has heard of it before.
Go ahead and roll a religion or history check.
Okay. We'll go for religion. Okay, yeah, that's good. 20, so I imagine so.
Yeah, so basically, Vesh, the Bloody Siren, is one of the lesser idols and a dark entity. Some people revere her as a goddess. Basically is with that 20, you've heard, she basically marries her followers, or it's through a blood ritual, and feel free to correct me if I'm something or I make a mistake on something too. But basically, there's a ritual that is performed, and she marries the follower, like whoever's left standing, essentially. So what you're gathering, is so. And when I read full disclosure, when I read the Critical Role wiki, it doesn't say if she's married one at a time or is married multiple.
From what I understand of what's referenced in canon is that she destroys an entire town, and whoever's left standing is the one she marries. But it's been a while.
Right, but it's it's been a while. You're also dealing with,
it's been a while.
It's also in the case of gods, and in the case of higher beings, it can be multiple people. So there are various stories surrounding this myth. But Hope, as was there any other questions you had, Huit'zi'lin? Anything else?
How do we go about undoing this? Can you show me what you used? Maybe we can figure out some way to undo this.
Well, the antidote's right over there, and he points to a vial, or to several vials. It's like it's an inoculant. So if you find a way to spray it into the air, spray people, it should turn back to normal.
Do we trust him?
I absolutely do not.
I'm rolling insight.
PJ, roll with advantage because you essentially, and actually everyone roll with advantage because essentially this man is hurt And he figures that the one person who can take his life is, even though he can't,
I rolled an 18.
Okay.
25.
Got a 20.
14.
He is absolutely telling the truth, and he has no reason to lie to you at this point.
Okay.
Because metaphorically and probably literally, depending on where PJ is standing, he is staring at the barrel of a gun.
Oh, the barrel's got at the back of the head.
Okay, so metaphor.
So, Hope basically just says there better be enough antidote for everyone affected, or else you're going to regret your life choices. Understand me?
I regret it, fine. I've only regretted that you've impeded one of the ways that Patrick will bring prosperity to this region and, help us become better selves.
The gun
Oh
is
yes,
being
this has
further
really
into his
improved the
skull.
local economy.
Yeah.
The barrel is being pressed further into the back of the skull.
He's like, all right, quiet. He's like, administer the antidote. It'll work. There's enough for everybody in town.
Shall we wrap these fantastically cooperative and wonderfully injured people up and take them with us?
Yeah, I don't trust this bastard to not run the minute I look away.
Hope still has, the channeled magic fire in her hand, she really just wants to nuke them out of orbit.
Oh, where is your symbol?
Tucked under my clothing.
Okay. You feel it crack.
Immediately, the magic the fire that she was channeling in her hand, turns off and is gone.
It comes back on.
Is the alchemist still on the ground?
He's still on the ground.
She just kind of, in frustration, kicks his foot or something, and she says, "You guys can handle this. I gotta go upstairs and get some air." And she leaves.
Don't go too far. There's oozes and angry people out there.
As you walk away from the group, as you're walking away, roll a perception check.
Ooh, that's not bad. 17.
As you're walking, and you're going up the stairs, I take it?
Yeah.
As you reach the top of the stairs, you see what appears to be like a dark shape, but like a dog or a wolf. As you approach, it just kind of runs. It kind of like in a playful way.
Can I follow it? Yeah, I follow it.
You follow it. The ooze doesn't do anything. You follow it around the entrance. You go outside. And as you go outside, you see, kind of standing amongst the vines, probably the biggest wolf that you've ever seen. But you also, the biggest wolf, but then it's like, it's wearing armor. It's wearing black armor, almost with like raven feathers on it. It kind of tilts its head, and it's almost smiling.
Do I know anything about this? Is it some kind of religious thing?
Roll a history check.
Okay, it's not a religious thing. Okay, here we go.
Go ahead and roll it. Actually, it would be religious too.
Okay. 14.
All right. You've heard stories.
Religion. 14 religion.
Okay, that works. You're making connections. Obviously, you've heard about the Matron of Ravens. You've also heard of her champion, Peruvian Sewell. before.
Per
I don't know.
Pervon. Sorry. Sorry, it's a bit. Pervon.
Sewell. We're gonna call him Sewell. It's been a while.
Okay.
But you
Sorry.
were Sewell, and before Vax'ildan became the champion of the Matron of Ravens, it was Sewell. That's what it was. Well, you might have heard that Sewell had a wolf companion named Galdrick, who was a great companion, but then became powerful, a lesser idol similar to Vesh. And you've heard stories about him patrolling around like the graveyard of Whitestone.
Why are you here? She just tries to talk to this wolf.
Wolf kind of tilts his head. And then in your mind you hear a voice. I think you might know. He's like, check your holies. He's like, check your shirt.
I pull out my holy symbol.
Pieces of the holy symbol drip to the ground, and basically a wolf's head with a raven's feather. And he goes, it's kind of hard to explain. He goes, I don't like soul trading, but it's like I made a bargain with the bloody siren. We made a bargain together. Since you have followers. She had a claim on your soul. Because she wanted a daughter of Sewell. One of my closest companions. So in exchange, and she essentially offered you. You must have heard me and my magic, in your magic, and the howls, the nuzzling.
That makes so much sense now. That was you?
He nods as a wolf does, or as like a dog. Mm-hmm.
I've always been scared and ashamed of my magic. Knowing where it came from.
Well, your magic now has a different source. And you shouldn't be ashamed. Yeah. Regardless, one should not be ashamed of their gifts, and where they come from might be bad, but it's what one chooses to do with their gifts. And he is all saying this in your mind, but he's also like nodding his head as he says this, like one of those animal voiceovers. But
yeah,
but he's like you. But yeah, so you shouldn't be ashamed at all. And your power war is only going to grow. But know that I'm with you on this journey. I think that's how that goes, right? Get all this around. But
don't expect this to come without repercussions. Especially since she's gaining followers from this cult.
It's not like what it seems. Patrick, I'm sure the screaming alchemist downstairs would learn if PJ pressed hard enough or decapped another knee. But Patrick doesn't want to marry Vesh to be her follower. He wants to control her. He's arrogant.
You and I both know that's not possible.
No,
my father tried.
But Patrick is arrogant. His followers think he is the second coming of a god, but he is just an arrogant man who has other people do his things for him. You know.
Okay. All right. Whatever it is that you have in mind for me, I'm in. I'm not really a, prayers and, I'm not a very religious person. But, I'll do what I can.
Yeah. I am not asking for reverence or tribute or prayers. I'm here if you seek me. Though I do enjoy the occasional walkies.
I mean, I could probably do that.
But should you need anything or guidance, just ask.
And you've made this trade with her? She's not gonna come back for me?
No. Don't take this the wrong way, but it doesn't look like she has an interest in you. She's of dual nature. You know this.
I mean, I always kind of wondered. She's still technically married to my dad.
Yeah.
I mean, she's technically married to a lot of people these days, right? I don't remember how that works. It's kind of weird.
That's kind of that, but the strongest bond is with this girl. Her name is Molly. She's a halfling. And the biggest thing about that is, but there are different ways. Patrick is trying to thinks he can control Vesh. You saw one of those earlier with the carrionet. Of course, how a simple silver needle is going to work won't, But
and what is her connection to? Marcy?
Marcy survived one of the rituals, but unlike Molly, Marcy fell completely under Patrick's whim. He thought that he could control Marcy to control Vesh. He's trying different ways to do this. Now, I'll say this, and you probably shouldn't go exploring the cave because they were already there. But there was a contraption that he, device that Patrick thought he could control Vesh, but it's now gone.
There's a part of me that wants to just let this happen and wash my hands clean of it, but
the issue, you could, but I saw how you reacted when Zundak told you of how he was taken out of his kingdom or exiled and his people. That's going to happen to more if Patrick's power grows.
I can't let that happen.
No, shouldn't.
Okay. Stay close. I have a feeling I'm gonna need you more and more.
You do this, and as you blink, he's right up to you, and he just, nuzzles your arm. He kind of does what a dog does and walks past you.
She kind of just mindlessly does this. Is there a place to sit, in the front of the house, outside, a front porch or something? I think she'll just kind of find a spot to sit with Godric.
You know what? There's a little porch swing. Just clear out some of the vines and everything. You should be fine.
Yeah, and she'll sit there with him and pet him like that and wait for everyone else to finish their business.
Right. He's happy. He's like, I might be a somewhat lesser idol hired being, but I do enjoy scratches in the back of the ears.
Right here, huh? Right here?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
His leg starts to move.
Yeah.
Going back downstairs, you three hear kind of some rumblings from above. Really quick. It shakes the ceiling a little bit, but yeah. But other than that, you're down there with the alchemist. Let's see.
So we just have to distribute all this antidote to people. It's what got to be? They have to drink it.
You spray him in the face. You spray him in the face.
Brain
Inoculator.
Face.
And he finds like he can't find it because he's still on the ground. He points to the shelf, and it's like a makeshift kind of like bottle sprayer. But like the contraption right there, that's similar to like a gun. But
Shall we gather these things up?
I think this one's for you, PJ. It's got a trigger and everything.
I'm sure I'll have fun with it. However, I want to know as much as I can about this Patrick fellow from talk.
What else do you want to know?
Anything and everything about Patrick.
Okay. Well, he was a half-elf born in Singorn to parents, both half-elven parents, and he boasted that he has the highest intelligence of anyone there, and studied various martial arts, and from there he was very captivating and very very intelligent, and would talk to us and spoke these great words about how we could go beyond our limits as humans, or mortals, I should say, not just humans, and we could be better selves. And so he wanted to spread this message to various corners of Taldori. And there are members of us in different cities. A couple in Singorn, where the headquarters are. Obviously, in the Iron Empire. Even in Amon and Whitestone, we have sex there. We could grow. We could, just wanna... Patrick, he wants to not become a god. He's not gonna become a god. He's not gonna do what the Whispered One did. He just wants to spread his message, and through Vesh he will be able to do that, through the bloody siren.
Do you know what happens with champions of bloody siren?
I do, but Patrick will be different. He can talk to her. He can...
Oh, he can talk to her, can he?
Yes.
See, I have an uncle who's married to her. An uncle who can also talk to her. And let me tell you, you might think that this Patrick is different. But if there's one thing about Vesh, she is uncontrollable. So count yourself lucky you might not be in the world for it to happen.
With the cadence of a man with nothing to lose. The alchemist spits on the ground and says, well, your uncle sounds like he was a fucking idiot. Weak-minded.
My uncle was an ally of Vox Machina. Do you want to try again?
Vox Machina, please.
You don't even know who I am, do you?
I don't know and I don't care.
Well, tough.
Maybe it's the loss of maybe it's being shot too many times, child. But maybe we are going to spread our message, and we are going to actually be the boots on the ground. We are going to make people better. Your heroes, your Vox Machina, and the heroes of the Ilk and the like were great years ago. But time has passed. And...
well, sadly, you've pissed off 2 descendants of that group.
Oh.
I am Percival Vaxodan Ryan Kai Drakon the Rome IV, son of Cassandra of Whitestone. nephew of Percival and Vexalia de Rolo. And I'm going to be your worst fucking nightmare. And I'm going to pull the trigger.
Pull the trigger. He slumps on the floor.
I can see why
As
they
this
call you
happens-
EJ.
And how do I want to end this? Two things. First, a couple of you, actually, Huit'zi'lin and Edwald, roll perception checks.
Sure.
My plus 2 will help there. That's a 7.
All right.
12.
Okay. That's okay. As the body floats on the ground, you see the yellow stone pop out. And the yellow stone falls on the floor and it pulsates with energy. From the stone comes a voice that says, "Well, Ario, did everything I asked for. The Scion of Vox Machina, whatever you are, I now know your name. And I know we'll see each other soon." This is Patrick Plumfield, by the way. Just thought you should know.
I figured.
Thank you, Patrick.
And the stone fades. Back up top. Oh, you're still with Galdrick. As you do this, you see a figure approaching. Figure is
Okay.
pale, elven. He's elven. Pale with long blonde hair. Really nicely dressed, but he just kind of saunters up to you.
Elvin.
Elven.
Okay.
He's got a bow. He's got leather armor. He's like, "Hey, how's it going?" He has the cadence of like Will Arnett.
It's going.
Everything okay here? Roll a perception check.
I was gonna roll an insight check, but yeah, perception's good too.
Do that
Boink.
too.
Okay, my perception is. Hold on, my perception is Okay. Perception is a 20, and my insight is a 10.
All right. Insight. Obviously, this guy just generally wants to see how you're doing. You probably do think that he followed you, but like, he doesn't seem to any harm. He does look familiar. His face kind of looks a little bit familiar.
Familiar how?
Familiar, like you're currently with someone with him in the group.
Oh, right. Sorry, and brain. Yeah, it's going all right.
Cool.
Have we met before? Wait, no. Who is this? Hold on. Do I? Sorry, I'm having that my brain.
No.
Have I met this person before?
No, you have not.
Okay.
But he looks familiar. Like he looks kind of like TJ. He's got.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, wow. Sorry. Wow, my brain. Okay, that I had to ask as a player. Does he look familiar? Okay. Who does it look like? Okay. She will say, "Have we met before? Have we met? Have I met this person before?"
No, we haven't met, but I have a feeling that we're familiar with you. We might be familiar.
Okay. How can I help you?
Just wanted to make sure everything's okay. Your friends doing good?
Depends how you define okay.
Well, I think you'll be alright. And it's weird, he actually starts walking up the side of the wall, like spider walking. And so,
immediately there is a message spell that goes off. Is PJ within range of 120 feet inside the house?
I would say so.
Okay, I'm gonna say, PJ, you know how I said there's a lot to unpack? More stuff. Think your dad's here.
That's where we're gonna
just get the Can I just give the response to N?
Oh, of course.
Just get the response. What the? And just cuts off at the what the.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Yeah, that was session 2. Saying we had a lot to unpack is a bit of an understatement, but I hope you had a fun time. I hope you enjoyed.
We just found the title for the episode. A lot to unpack.
Oh, a lot to unpack. Exactly, a lot to unpack. So
I'm crying.
All right, I think we're gonna go cool with outros. I'm Al Stover. You can find me on the Twitter at LSWrites or Eldritch Knight on Instagram. Right now, I'm just finishing up Storytelling Collective's 28 Days of Flash Fiction, so I might be posting one more Flash piece on Twitter either tonight or tomorrow. It just depends. But that is all I have for right now. I guess we'll go to Adrian.
Cool. Yeah. I'm Adrian, and yeah, don't have too much on the boiler right now, so stay tuned, I guess.
Yes, I'm Craig, and I also do a Star Trek game on Saturday, 6 p.m. GMT, 1 p.m. Eastern, at twitch.tv/GM in the Great Barrier. Hi.
Hi. I'm Kai. I use he, they pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at LegoSonic24. That's LegoSonic, all lowercase, the numbers 24 at the end. You can find me on Instagram when I sometimes post on that at Trans Gamer Prime, because I'm weird like that. Or you can just find me on any other piece of internet as Kaiboy. You can find me in a podcast when it gets posted occasionally called The Land Above Podcast, but you can find it on any podcasting services that you enjoy. And other than that, I'm just vibing. Anne.
Hi, I'm Anne. This is my channel. I was playing Hope, the Tiefling Divine Soul Sorcerer. Yay! A lot to unpack. You can find me over on Twitter at XO_GirlWonder. I am the community ambassador for Girls Run These Worlds, so I do a lot of stuff on their Twitch channel. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time over on Girls Run These Worlds, I am playing Masks, and I play a Harbinger who essentially yeeted her 21-year-old self into her 16-year-old body. It's a whole thing. And on Wednesday, I'll be back on this channel at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for more Tales of Exandria, Shadows of the Lost. It's our Wednesday campaign here. Yeah, that's it. If you guys would stick around for the raid, we're going to go raid my friends over at Game Nights. They're playing the Dragon Age RPG right now, so just remember that there are people on the screen telling a really rad story. Make sure you show up, say hello, and get hyped for them the way you were hyped for us. Until next time, see you on the next adventure. Thank you.
Good stuff.